Good evening and welcome to one in a series of half-hour You Decide specials on the propositions that await your vote on the November 4th ballot. I'm Christine Devine.
And I'm Carlos Amesqua. Tonight we're focusing on Proposition 10, a multi-billion-dollar bond initiative to encourage the increased use of alternative fuel vehicles.
Prop 10 is known formally as the California Renewable Energy and Clean Alternative Fuels Act. Let's look at what it would do and what it would cost.
Proposition 10 provides about $3.5 billion in rebates to help purchase alternative fuel vehicles, including natural gas cars and trucks. Another $1.25 billion would go to research and development of renewable energy. And Prop 10 would provide clean energy grants to cities and colleges. Total cost, about $5 billion. California would have to borrow that money in the form of bonds. And the ballot book summary says interest on that loan over 30 years could amount to another $5 billion.
It's a $5 billion bond measure that will provide funding for solar, for geothermal. It also provides direct rebates to consumers for buying energy-efficient cars and alternative fuel vehicles, as well as alternative fuel and energy-efficient trucks for our ports and our roads. It's a very comprehensive measure that will really move California down the road, I believe, in terms of reducing greenhouse gas emissions.
Most of the millions of dollars that have been spent to qualify and promote Proposition 10 have come from this company in Seal Beach, Clean Energy Fuels Corporation. Its founder is Texas oil billionaire T. Boone Pickens. The company provides natural gas to vehicle fleets, including some of LA's trash trucks. Prop 10's opponents contend very few passenger vehicles now on the road would qualify for those rebates. The exceptions, they say, are the high-mileage gasoline-electric Toyota Prius and cars that burn natural gas, such as the Honda Civic GX.
Prop 10, really what it does is it supports T. Boone Pickens' plan for putting lots of natural gas vehicles on the road, but it doesn't do what I think we need, which is to support a wide variety of alternate fuel vehicles, especially plug-ins.
At the recent Alt Car Expo in Santa Monica, dominated by electric cars, we found little support for the Pickens-backed proposition. Chris Payne directed the documentary Who Killed the Electric Car, about GM's pioneering EV1.
I'm in favor of alternative energy for cars. I'm not sure that proposition is very good. I think if we're going to do any kinds of incentives, they should be getting people into electric cars, especially residential and consumer vehicles. Natural gas is better for trucks and for other purposes, but I'm not a big fan.
Take control of our energy future. Vote yes on Proposition 10.
This Yes on 10 campaign's TV ad shows plug-in hybrids, fuel cells, and wind and solar power, in addition to cars using natural gas. And Dario Fromer, a former California Assembly leader who's now a Yes on 10 spokesman, contends the initiative is about much more than just T. Boone Pickens and natural gas.
If you read the language of the initiative, it is technology neutral. It doesn't specify that natural gas or any technology is the only qualifying. It's very broad.
Yet electric car advocates still insist Prop 10 mainly benefits companies that profit from natural gas.
So this is really an industry-funded initiative to try and basically spend taxpayer dollars.
So some very contrasting views there about whether Proposition 10 is a narrowly or broadly focused proposal and whether it's worth all those billions.
Joining us in studio tonight to speak in favor of Prop 10 is Todd Campbell, who is with Clean Energy Fuels Corporation of Seal Beach. And from San Francisco, Richard Holliber of the Consumer Federation of California speak against this proposition. Richard, you know, I'm seeing that Sierra Club and the California League of Conservation Voters against this. Why are you against it?
Every environmental group that has taken a close look at Proposition 10 has come out against it, including the Natural Resources Defense Council, the Union of Concerned Scientists, League of Conservation Voters, and the Sierra Club. Why? Because it squanders money and it doesn't do anything to clean our air. Environmentalists think we need to spend money on programs that really move the ball down the field, but Prop 10 doesn't do it. It does cost $10 billion, and you know, California's going broke. We just went through a $15 billion budget disaster. We're facing another one, and we're asking the feds for a bailout. Prop 10 would be bad policy at any time, but with California's current economic situation, Prop 10 billion would be a very serious attack on our schools and other important services to achieve nothing. That's why every environmental group that's looked at this says vote no on 10. It's basically a giveaway to interstate trucking companies that would, for the most part, almost exclusively buy natural gas fuel trucks. And yes, Mr. Pickens is in that business. He'll reap a fortune.
Well, we're
so
gonna
every
get
newspaper.
a response from the other side. So if you'll stand by.
Okay.
Yeah, Todd. What about that? That's clearly you know, he's saying that this is too expensive in a time when we don't need any more expense.
Well, I would say that it's too expensive not to pass Proposition 10. We're spending about $700 billion a year to foreign countries on foreign oil. It's essentially destroying our economy.
Let me stop you there, because we've heard 700. Where did that number come from? Because all the information from the Energy Association say it's 340 plus billion, not 700 billion. Where did that number come from?
Well, essentially where it came from is where the averages are for the price of oil. If oil went to $150 per barrel, for example, we would be sending $1 trillion over to foreign countries. We just can't afford that. We're no longer in a world where there's cheap oil, and we need alternatives now. I would just firmly disagree that Proposition 10 is just a natural gas play. It funds plug-in hybrid electrics, it funds hybrid electrics, battery electric vehicles, all those vehicles you saw at the Santa Monica show. I would have really preferred those interviewed individuals to actually have read the measure, because it actually favors those vehicles.
But is it largely natural gas?
No. No on 10 wants to make you believe it's just natural gas vehicles, and they want to tell you that there's no alternatives out there. But if you went to that auto show, you saw that there are plenty of vehicles out there. Battery electric vehicles that are made from Tesla, Phoenix Motor Car, Mitsubishi, et cetera, and so forth. You even have the Chevy Volt coming out next year with 100 miles per gallon.
Well, we're going to hear a lot more from both of you coming up. We'll ask both sides to comment on the claims made in a Yes on 10 commercial.